Midlands Today, live from Shannette Superior Space in Kilbeggan, celebrating 4 decades of family-run success from garden sheds to commercial warehouses. Find out more on Shannette.ie. They've got you covered.
By the way, we need your assistance because a family is quite distressed. Jerry has gone missing. Jerry is a white Bichon Frise, missing since Tuesday from the Loga Curran area of County Laois. So if you happen to spot him, please let us know and we will reunite him with his distressed owners. Rory Hafford is here for other headaches and heartaches.
Mr. Faulkner.
Good morning and happy Christmas.
The same to you. Thank you for having me.
He asked me when he came down, am I extra grumpy today? Why? Do I project that image?
No, you have a reputation.
Oh,
I read it somewhere. I think it was the topic.
I have a reputation for many things.
This is my first time in Kilbeggan.
Really?
Yeah. Love it. Love it, love it. And I found my ideal spot. The coffee and chocolate bar. Right, think about it. Those 2 words in the one sentence. Coffee and chocolate. Lovely little place right beside the distillery.
Lovely.
I'll give him a shout out.
Must try, although I am sampling the finest wares from the Coffee Hut here.
You can't beat
which
it.
is very,
yeah,
very
the
nice.
little tiny place. It's fantastic. Yeah, lovely.
And have you inspected what we have here at Shannette? It's not just sheds.
Amazing. Do you know what? On a serious note in relation to this, the way the housing crisis is not going away. You're probably sitting in what could be easily somebody's home in the not too distant future. So they're much more than sheds now. They're actually a lifeline for people.
Well, what's quite attractive about this one, and apparently this is one of the older spaces we're in, is it's warm, but it's warm despite having so many windows.
Yeah, it's very warm.
And it's therefore very bright and airy.
Incredible.
And a pleasant space to be.
Incredible. It's
Check out the Midlands 103 socials for pictures, by the way.
You'd have to. It's definitely an option going forward. Definitely.
Anne has the first dilemma, one that many will relate to this Christmas. There is a toxic in-law coming to dinner, she says. And she knows this person will complain about everything, from the children being too loud, to the turkey being too dry, to, well, everything. Normally, she ends up snapping, and she asks for advice. What does Rory do to stay calm while trying to juggle everything?
Well, I live alone in a house on the top of a hill, so that's my secret. But for normal people, this is not new, Will. This is not new. There's always a toxic somebody, particularly at Christmas time in the family dynamic. So, I mean, think about it. You gather together people who you might say, how are you, to once in a blue moon during the year, and then all of a sudden you have to share what would be considered the most celebratory day of the year. Of course it's going to go belly up sometimes. On a more serious note, and I have a list of things that Anne, God love her, can actually do, but just to set it up, this is the whole issue of fault finders again. And you and I have touched on that in the past in relation to a number of queries that came in. We are turning, and have been for some time, into a nation of fault finders, finger pointers, blame layers on people. But it's actually developed. It's one thing now saying, oh, I'm offended, or you can't say that, or you shouldn't be saying this, and I'm offended. I tell you I'm offended. It's now moved to punishment. So I'm offended by what it is that you have said, so therefore you now must be punished. And maybe that's something we can come back to at a future date, because I see it everywhere. And particularly with people presenting in the clinic to me, they're finding it very, very difficult. You can't open your mouth now.
Cancel culture.
Absolutely. Apparently some guy was stopped in a speech recently when he introduced it by saying, ladies and gentlemen. They stopped him. I mean, I'm at a loss.
What is he supposed to say? Ladies and gentlemen and assorted transgender people.
Yeah, and then he replaced it with girls and boys. No, can't say that either. Like, this is crazy. This is a crazy world we live in. The other thing with this, and this is how you handle something like this, psychologically this is called an outside locus of control. So you locate the power outside yourself, and you empower other people to make you feel one way or another about yourself. It's nonsense. It's not. First off, who are you empowering Who are you gifting this huge gift to somebody? Who are they that can actually deign that you are right or wrong? You must pull that back into yourself. So is Anne happy with her preparations, with what she's doing, with what she has presented for the day? That's it, and that's all. Now, that's in psychological theory. In reality, there's a couple of things that we can do. One, kill them with kindness. Kill them with kindness. Because if somebody tries to find fault or to point fingers at you, they are looking for a reaction. And 99 times out of 100 is not a good one. It's one that's going to cause some angst.
Are they consciously doing it?
By and large, yes. But then again, it can be, if they have done that all their lives, it's just habitual. It's a thing that they do when they come in, not thinking of somebody else's feelings. Now, you and I know the preparation that goes into a Christmas dinner, for God's sake. It's momentous.
I've watched it a lot, yeah.
And hired somebody to wash up afterwards. I know this about you. So the first thing, kill them with kindness. They're looking for a reaction, and if you give them that one, it's one that they will not be expecting. 2, agree with them. There's a little mind boggler. Geez, you're right. The turkey's very dry today. I don't know what I did or how to fix it. You're spot on. The kids are very loud. Oh my God, you're so right. Now they have a different energy and dynamic to deal with. 3, disagree with them rather than agree. Because they won't be used to that or expect it. Now, the other thing before we
Whoa, hang on.
Yeah.
You said point 2 is to agree.
Yes.
Point 3, disagree.
Absolutely. I don't see what your problem is. Think about it.
So this is a menu of options. You kind of have to pick one or the other.
Yeah, you can't pick the 5.
No,
you have to pick one or the other. So for me, it's what one suits you, what one suits your personality, what one do you think is right for that time. So disagree. They won't be used to that or expect it, and it could just shut them up. 4, I love this one. Ignore them. You don't need me to expand on that, you know.
No.
Ignore them. And 5, we've moved into now. Anne said that she's on the verge of snapping and all the rest of it. So I have a couple of little pointers for snapping. When you feel yourself just about to lose it, breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Come in, focus on the moment, focus on the breath. The breath will take you into the moment. So you're not thinking about, I hate that old hag, or I hate what she did last year and what she's doing now. You're focused on the breath. You are fully present. You're in the now where you are in control. 2, go upstairs. 3, go outside for a quick walk. So remove yourself from the problem.
4,
4,
crack open the wine. 5, crack open more wine.
4, focus on the positive. Because what's happening is your attention has been drawn to the negative. That's not very good. That's very dry. I don't know. Focus on the positive. It's a positive day. And then also know that it is only one day. That's all. It's only one day. So tomorrow will be another day. Or if she really wants, she can come to my house and cook me.
I was about to say option 6 should be...
It should be.
Live alone in a house on a hill. Go back to what you said in the beginning.
It's actually technically a mountain. It's the only mountain in the Midlands.
Really?
The Ben of Four. Yeah, in the old Irish, the Ben of Four, the most beautiful place you could ever imagine.
Would you ever think of moving to Croghan Hill?
I don't know where that is.
Well, one day it might erupt again.
Okay.
I live in Hope.
Okay. A town called Hope.
No,
yeah.
no.
So there you go. That's a couple of things for Anne just to consider. But remember, this is happening all over the country, not just in her house.
When you call 0818 300 103 is the Midlands 103 comment line. You can text or WhatsApp 083 3010 103. Maybe this toxic family member should be nominated for a Midlands 103 magic moment. There's still time, but only 15 more minutes at midlands103.com. Enter now and they could be winning a fantastic hamper with Lily O'Brien's chocolates, delectable desserts, decadent flavours of truffles, exquisite stuff.
It's already in the back of my car.
No, it's not. Rory Hafford is here. He is a psychotherapist and author from 4 in County Westmeath. More headaches and heartaches next.
Midlands Today, live from Shannette Superior Space in Kilbeggan, celebrating 4 decades of family-run success from garden sheds to commercial warehouses. Find out more on Shannette.ie. They've got you covered.
Yeah, hello, I want to meet her.
That's Sinead Hubble's doing the voiceover.
That's not Sinead
Yeah,
Hubble.
it is, yes. And that was live, by the way.
That's not Sinead
Yeah,
Hubble.
no, you were live when you said that.
She is... really?
Yes.
Are we live now?
Yes.
Hello, folks.
That is the voice of Rory Hafford, who was a psychotherapist and author. In jest, as we may say it, let's go a bit responsible, because unfortunately this next situation is all too relatable for many listeners. And the caller, we're going to call her Nora, not a real name. Her eldest son tends to get very drunk and is abusive when he is in that state. And she wants to talk to him about not drinking at Christmas this year. But whenever she has raised it before, it has ended in an argument. And she's wondering, is there a way to raise it that will diffuse the situation rather than inflame it?
Hi, Nora. Drink on this day is a major issue for so many families, and we've heard it a gazillion times coming up to, on the day and afterwards. Drink is one thing. We all expect that people will imbibe on the day to get merry, but abusive behavior is something else. So it can ruin the whole thing. So a day in celebration turns into almost a wake. It's not good. But here's the thing. It's not that he drinks. It's why. Why does he drink? So you can't actually sit this guy down and say, I have a problem with you drinking, don't drink, which is effectively what she's looking for, because that's red rag to a bull. And obviously drink is an enabler for this guy just to move from one way of being into another way. And we don't know his age, by the way, so I don't know what age he is. So it's not the what, it is the why. The why will lead you to some kind of a plan and could even hopefully lead you to some kind of a solution. So if it were me, I would sit him down, or even stand up, you don't have to sit him down, and explore it. Don't wait for the day, because the day is too late. That's the problem. So there's a couple of things. Why is he angry? That's the first thing. Because he becomes abusive. So that is fueled and fired by anger. What is he angry about? It's very important that you unpack these little points. 2, what is causing him pain? Because there's also pain there. You don't want to be that thing in the middle of a celebratory group that's causing angst to people. So he could well be in pain. 3, what is it in his life that is disappointing him? So remember, the drink is simply a replacement. Alcohol in and of itself is actually subtext. 4, what would he like to do? What would he like to do with his life? And then finally, and this I've seen countless times with people presenting in the clinics to me, maybe he has no meaning in his life. Maybe his life is meaningless to him. And in the difference, and it's a stark difference between, say, if the problem gets out of hand and he's told, go to a GP. That's your first point of contact, because it now becomes a kind of a medical problem. The GP, he or she, will actually look for some sort of a pathology. So is there something wrong with this man? Is there something in him? Is there something treatable? And ideally, is there something treatable with medication or drugs? And remember, I am a huge admirer of general practitioners and the medical system, a huge admirer. But I think in a number of cases, they get the approach slightly wrong. Because again, it's the way they are trained. It is habitual to look for a problem. So medicine ideally is called find it and fix it. you know what I mean? So you have to find it, which means you have to look for a problem. An existential psychotherapist, darling, will look for a solution. The solution. What is right? Because if you focus all the time on the problem, you only end up protecting the problem. Whereas the solution actually leads you down the road to some place where you are in a better space. So everybody is unique. Even you, Will. Even you. Everybody's unique, which means, you could argue philosophically or psychologically, we are here for a purpose. Now, in existential psychotherapy, depression or angst comes from the fact that you haven't found your purpose. Now, I know it sounds a little bit philosophical, but
okay, the language might be philosophical, but I think a lot of people can relate to it. And I remember being in my late 20s and
last year,
frankly drinking too much and binging, and my dad talked to me about it, and in a serious way a few times. But what got through to me was the time that I could see how much it was hurting him. And it wasn't in a confrontational way, it was just in a moment of vulnerability. And that connected with me far more than perhaps the more formal, serious tone ever did.
Yeah.
Just to see that.
Yeah.
And ultimately that was maybe a turning point. Then kids coming into the life, and they're a fantastic source of purpose. I'm not suggesting that that's suitable for everybody, but it was a corner turner for me.
Yeah, but people do need a reason to step back from this kind of behaviour. And it's big of you on live radio. We're still live, aren't we? Is this thing still on? It's big on you, big of you on live radio to actually share that with the people who are listening to this. And maybe you could have stumbled on the answer for Nora. If she sits down and tells this her son that his behaviour is hurting her, now he has a reason not to drink. And it may just work. Well done, you, for fixing it. That's amazing stuff. Are we done? I've nothing left.
I've nothing left either. Right. That is our programme at a conclusion, because we have run out of time here at Shannette Superior Space. They're celebrating their 40th birthday. Do you remember your 40th birthday, or is it too long ago, Rory?
Don't be ridiculous. I remember yesterday. I'm trying to remember where the coffee and chocolate bar is so I can go back to it.
Well, you have a great Christmas.
You too.
And thank you as always for being generous with your time. And you'll find them at Lusnagrena Family Resource Centre in Longford as well.